Good day. This information is for those who are looking to get started in the security industry, particularly in the state of Georgia. In this broadcast and on this page, we will share information with those who are interested in starting their own security company or taking advantage of opportunities to partner with licensed security companies within the state of Georgia, and this may be applicable to other states as well. But I'm focusing on Georgia as that's where my security company is licensed and operates. So one of the first things I like to share with potential franchisees or those who are looking to get licensed in the state of Georgia, the requirements are listed on the Georgia Board of Private Detectives and Security Agencies. You can look that up online and you'll see all the licensing requirements listed there. And if you meet the requirements, you can apply for licensing, pay the fees, take an exam, and then you will be issued a state license to conduct business legally in the state of Georgia. Then you have to consider your insurance cost, equipment, uniform costs, and things as such. And once you get established, you got your license, you're ready to start doing business. One of the first things that I did was simply build a website. And remarkably, every one of my initial clients came from contacts made through my website. Now, this is not to suggest that you shouldn't perhaps reach out to potential clients that you would like to service. And speaking about that, for myself, I like to target the type of accounts that I want to work. I try to not just generalize my security services. There are particular industries that I focus in on. And if you work in security for other companies, generally you'll feel comfortable working accounts that you are familiar with, or having officers work accounts that you are familiar with, because inevitably there may be times where people may not be able to show up for their shifts or assignments, and then someone will have to be able to work that account. And so you must be able to know that you can cover the accounts yourself, or you have reliable persons who can cover it for and with you. So take that in consideration as you consider the type of accounts that you take on. I often tell people all money is not good money. There's some accounts that will be more problems, in my opinion, than it is worth. And so I focus pretty much on property protection, car dealerships, warehouse, parking lot security, maybe residential patrols, and things as such. For me, I tend to try to avoid public type of security services at hospitals and clinics, even though we have taken some urgent care clients and the accounts went relatively well. But anytime you're involving the public and people, you're involving an unknown variable that usually is the source of potential problems. The reason why I focus on property protection, and most of these are doing after hours, where most of the businesses and establishments are closed, are particularly keen on car dealerships. You have very little contact with the public or with customers, and even with the staff at the dealerships. You're simply protecting the inventory of vehicles and protecting the building, and that's simply it. But you must be able to identify the type of accounts that you want to do. You may want to engage in accounts with that public interaction. And so you got to realize that you're going to be looking at hiring people who will be representing your company, and their actions will reflect on your company and will reflect on you. Because one of the things that I've discovered when you first get an account is that you are selling yourself. Before the client looks at your company, they're going to be looking at you. So I always tell potential persons who are looking at getting started with the security industry that people do business with people, not companies. So each one of the contracts that my company started with, I was the initial contact for each one. I was the person they spoke to on the phone. I was the person that they met in person. I was the person who gave them, so to speak, our sales pitch. And so they're making this agreement with me as a person that I'm going to make sure that my company is able to fulfill the conditions of the contract that we make. And so if you have experience in security, military, law enforcement, then those are things that you can present to potential clients to assure and reassure them that you are qualified to service their accounts and that you know the proper ways to ensure that their property and or people are protected. So consider these things as you go in. If you don't have that type of experience, then one of the things you may be able to do, I know I offer through my company, which is Grace Security Consultants, and we're licensed in the state of Georgia, opportunities for those who are interested in getting started in the security industry as more than just a security officer. What I promote to those who contact me is that why work for a security company when you can work with a security company and generate your own income. And so I offer opportunities for those who meet our standard, which is our gold standard of quality, integrity, and dependability, an opportunity to become what we call franchise managers. Those who go through our training program, pass our background checks, meet the type of character for the gold standard that we're setting for our company. We allow them to secure and manage accounts anywhere across the state of Georgia and earn up to 90% of those contracts. And so this is one of the ways that I do to pay it forward to others who may not have those experience levels to get their own security company. And if I can help them get to that level where they can get their own license, then all the better for them. Some people would ask, why would you do this? Why would you help others to potentially take contracts away from you? Well, this is my business philosophy. I'd rather get 10% of something than 100% of nothing. So by that I mean when they secure their own contracts, because what I found is that clients start to rely on the particular officers that they like. If a particular officer is working an account, this is one example that I had at a school, charter school. There was an officer working the account. The principal really liked interacting with this particular officer. This officer was going to leave the company he was with because he was dissatisfied with the pay and the way they treated him. And he explained to the principal that he probably would not be working at his school going forward. And so he saw one of my ads and contacted me by email or phone, asked if it would be possible for him to come join our team as a franchise manager, or if he could allow the principal to sign a contract with my company and let him continue to work the account. So that told me, and that taught me, and I learned through that experience that clients, once they find the type of officer that they like working with, they want to keep that officer. It doesn't matter what company he works for. It's that officer that they want to keep. And so in this instance, we went ahead and signed the contract with the school. This officer stayed there working the account. We increased his pay. He didn't feel competent in being a franchise manager. So we worked out with him that he would simply just be the officer. We would manage the account, and we would give him a 50% pay increase. He was making $10 an hour. We would now pay him $15 an hour to do the same job that he was doing. He's simply working for a new company, wearing a new uniform. It was that simple. So if you're listening to this message, or you know people in the state of Georgia who are high quality officers working particular accounts, many of the clients would be more than happy to sign contracts with you to manage the account, and you would now make more money doing the same job you were doing. And of course, if you're going to be a franchise manager, you're also going to be assuming more responsibility. So with the responsibility comes more pay. One of the rates that I generally share with those who contact us is, if you're an unarmed officer working pretty much any type of account, you can pretty much charge your client at least $25 an hour. And most officers are making anywhere from $12 to $15 an hour. So in this scenario, if you were to sign a contract with any particular client at $25 an hour, just using this as an example, and you staffed it and managed it, we would give you 90% of that account. We would take 10%. So you would charge the client $25 an hour. We handle all the billing, all the checks and or payments are made through our company. We serve as the liaison for you as far as administrative and billing and things as such, invoicing your client and such. That gives you a layer of company, makes you look bigger than what you are in most instances. So in this instance, when we bill or invoice your client, when your client pays, we get 10%. In this case, would be $2.50 per hour, and the rest would go directly to you. That's how you can become a franchise manager if you're not able to qualify for licensing through the state. Now, this is something that is pretty unique to my company. I haven't run across any other companies that offer the same type of opportunities. So this is my way of giving back to those in the industry who are looking to be more than just a security officer, that you can actually earn a six-figure income with minimum amount of accounts. One or two accounts can get you at least six figures income. But you got to take into account now that once you get more accounts and depend on the hours that they're working, you have to have a good team of two or three other people that you can rely on to work some of the hours for you without burning yourself out working the accounts. And if it's your goal to simply manage the accounts and have others work them, then you can do that as well. You can pay your officers half of what you make. If you're going to be making, in the example that I shared with you, charging $25 an hour, our company, getting $2.50 an hour from you, you end up with $22.50 an hour for yourself if you worked it. You can pay your officers half of that if you like. Pay them $12 an hour. You can make $10 an hour just to manage the account. So there are lots of variables that we can show you, that we can train you on, and give you some scenarios about how I have been successful at running my company for the last 8 years here in the state of Georgia. Just one example I'm going to give you some references, materials for you to visit and view on our website. I'm just giving you a general overview of how it may look if you want to start your own security company. I refer you to the website of the Georgia Board of Private Detectives and Security Agencies. You'll see the requirements listed there. For those of you who may be interested in our franchise manager opportunities, I'll refer you to our website, which is Grace Security Consultants. Website is gracesecurity.net or gscprotection.com, either or. And you can contact us directly about our opportunities, our training, our in-house training, our certified security manager training, and we can discuss the possibilities with you. And so for before I leave, just give you one clear example of how this could work if you were to be a franchise manager or one of our partner contractors, partner consultants. So one of the accounts we had with an urgent care facility, this particular city had 13 locations. We were servicing one location for about a year, and then they wanted to add a second location across town. And so what I did was look for other licensed security companies that I could partner with and let them subcontract the second location. And so therefore I let them, the second company, work that other location. If I had a franchise manager, I would give them the opportunity to say, hey, there's an account in this city. Here's the hours. Here's the pay. Would you be able to staff and manage this account? And that way you could be working your own accounts, generating your own income, as long as you staff and manage it. So this person, this particular owner, was able to staff and manage it for over a year. He generated for his company $100,000 a year from that one account. And so this is how it can work when you partner with others in the industry. There's another partner that I had that he had some accounts, and I would work some of the hours to help him out. And there were times where I needed help with some of the hours or staffing on my accounts. He would come or send someone to work the hours that I needed. So it is beneficial to have those type of partnerships in the industry. So I shared all this with you just to let you know that there are options, that there are opportunities to make a really great income with minimum effort, depending on how ambitious you are and what your particular financial goals are. If you're only looking to make an extra $500 a month, then you can have someone else work your accounts. $1,000 a month is not impossible to generate up to $10,000 a month, depending on the number of accounts you have and the number of hours that you service. So feel free to reach out to me. Again, that's Grace Security Consultants, where we provide gold standard solutions for our clients' peace of mind. Our website is, again, gracesecurity.net or gscprotection.com. Hopefully this information will be helpful for those of you who have been looking for opportunities or like to examine opportunities to start your own security business in the state of Georgia, or become a franchise manager with our company, or become a sales consultant where you can refer accounts to us, and any account that we take on, you'll get a 10% residual for the life of that contract. So there's the information that you have. Feel free to reach out to me again. We look forward to speaking with you and sharing the opportunity. I'm Lyndon Hutchison, President, CEO of Grace Security Consultants.